Well, good afternoon and welcome wherever you are tuning in around Australia or indeed around the world. Women's World Grand Prix in Bendigo Country, Victoria, and it is the hometown heroes, the Hello World Volleyroos, up against the absolute might of Croatia. Hello and welcome, my name is Jonathan Fogarty, a privilege to be bringing this coverage to you from one of the great volleyball towns in Australia, here in Bendigo, Victoria. This is the final match of this round for Group 3. The Croatian team currently undefeated, but Australia have got something to say about that. Welcome to this Gold Rush boomtown from the Victorian era. The architectural heritage is strong. The Sacred Heart Cathedral through to some of the travel and transport. It is absolutely a stunning part of Australia, all the way through to the Talking Tram, which is a tourism hotspot, I am sure. I am joined in commentary by a man who needs no introduction, Mr. Ross Solly. Hello, sir.
Sure, it's fantastic to be here, Jonathan Fogarty. The final match of the weekend, and well, we're all wondering what did Australia learn last night? What can we see today as they take on this very, very powerful Croatian team? They are the team of the weekend, there's no doubt about that.
Absolutely. We see the table there. Croatia undefeated, 2 from 2. Australia's 2-0. It doesn't really tell the full tale. They got to 25 in 3 of their 4 sets against Cuba last night, but only won 1 of them. They lost 2 sets, 27-25. So it could easily have been a different result. But the Volleyroos, have they spent all their petrol and emotion in that match against Cuba last night, or have they got one last tilt at this wonderful combination from Croatia? Australia, the number 41 seeded team in the world, up against the much more fancied 21 seeded team in Croatia. So you would think on paper a gulf between these two rosters, but you are in Bendigo, you are in Volleyroos country and territory, so who knows? The crowd here in big numbers, making great noise, getting ready for what is going to be an engrossing afternoon in the history of Australian volleyball. There is so much going on. It is unbelievable. Of course, shortly in parallel to this match, we must acknowledge Volleyball Team Australia men. The Hello World Volleyroos men's team will be battling it out against the wonderful Poland men's team for the last spot at the Rio Olympics. Our thoughts, our hopes, our prayers, whatever we can send their way, we are sending. But for us today, it is about the ladies and the Hello World Volleyroos taking on Croatia. So all is nearly in readiness in what is going to be an exciting and interesting match for our Volleyroos. Ross Solly, this is their last match. Here it is Sunday afternoon in Australia, and on Friday they've got to be in Colombia to play over there.
But they're not alone. The Colombians are also going home and making the same trip, and it is a tough ask, but this is a great match and a great test for the Australians, just to see how far they've come. They played Croatia twice last weekend in some warm-up matches. They were beaten in both, but I know that the coach and her staff were very, very happy with the way that the Australians played. They did treat last night's match as though it was a win almost, and in many, many ways it was a very strong performance for them. But let's stop now for the national anthem.
Absolutely. Some of these ladies came of age last night for Australia against Cuba. They really showed a new and exciting brand of volleyball. Let's see if they can replicate it against this amazingly strong team from Croatia. All is in readiness. Australia wearing the white, Croatia in the blue. It is time for the national anthem from Croatia.
Please join us in the national anthem of Croatia.
Well, a look of steely-eyed determination in the Croatian squad. They are a formidable outfit, but here's a formidable moment for the last time this weekend. Our wonderful Volleyroos and their anthem. Well, if there isn't a group of young athletes to get behind, I've never seen one. The Hello World Volleyroos have absolutely captured the hearts of the people here in Bendigo and all around the world with their spirited play. But they will absolutely have it all to do against this wonderful Croatian squad today, Ross.
Who have been incredibly impressive. I mean, we've just loved the way that they've played. I mean, their coach has let it be known all weekend that he believes that this is going to be a very short stay for the Croatians in Group 3 of World Volleyball. Their intention is to get back up into the second division where they belong and possibly higher, he says. So with that in mind, they want to send a statement today, but they're coming up against a plucky group of Australians who last night learned a lot about themselves.
Absolutely.
I think any doubts that they had that they could mix it with some of these best in the world, and what would have reinforced it. Sorry, John, you jump in and I'll finish off.
Let's introduce the Uruguayan Fabian Carabajal. Congratulations on your appointment, sir, and Irina Tabulevkova from Kazakhstan on your appointment. Sorry, Ross, you're making a very germane point.
Well, what I was going to say is what would reinforce in the minds of the Australians that they do belong is that I'm sure they would have been watching the match before this and seeing Cuba, the team that they pushed last night for 4 sets, come out and really do a pantsing of the Colombians, and that would reinforce for them, even though Colombia had the wood over Australia on the opening night. I think this is a very different Australian side today to the team that took on Colombia on Friday night.
Oh, absolutely. And for our international visitors, pantsing is a term of endearment. There is the lineup. Got it back in the set. Topic was very, very good. Jurisic, the 5. Fabrice is the one to watch, though, for mine. Yurkov, the captain, and Domancic, the 11, and of course this little live wire libero of theirs, Sane, in the alternate jersey. There is your Volleyroos, Australia. Beth Carey, Shay Sloan, Carly Hines, watch her, she is a firecracker. Godfrey will start tonight. Good to see her
Sadler
back.
starting as well, which
Sadler
is a good
starting,
move,
and then Reeves. So it's a good lineup. It's a very, very good lineup. There's your captain, Shay Sloan. So the athletes being introduced to the crowd here in Bendigo. And to see Sadler, the left-hander, Carly Hines, the hometown hero.
So Sadler has replaced Hannah Martin then in the starting lineup tonight, which that was the move that Coach Windsor made midway through the second set last night, and I think Sadler stepped up, and I think she was impressed with the way that, or Windsor was impressed with the way that Sadler took hold of the moment. So she's getting another chance now.
So all is in readiness for this exciting last match. Croatia undefeated in this pool so far. The Volleyroos searching for their first win on the world stage in this competition. We are ready to go. The number 2 from Croatia, and they've got it back to serve it out. Early ascendancy to Australia, 1-0.
Yeah, let's stop the game now. Let's set off that fire alarm. There's the Bet Scary sign.
The Bet Scary sign. That's the Austral Volleyball Club crew. That's where Beth plays her club volleyball. Big shout out to the Austral crew. Hope you're enjoying the game so far.
Be very happy with the early scoreline, that's for sure. Wow!
Oh. And classic Carly Hines power there, just teeing off. She's been absolutely belting the ball all weekend, completely misses a run-up, arrives way too early and has to hit a little roll shot that somehow comes up for gold. So 2-0, good start to the Volleyroos. Tough
Nice
serving
serve
from the captain. Folks, if you haven't seen a lot of volleyball, you're going to see the athlete in the alternate coloured jersey on court, the libero for Australia, Alice D. Innocentis, a new libero for Australia. Good story, Ross.
It was her birthday yesterday, so
yeah.
but that's the girl that the Australians they know very well what to expect from Samantha Fabrice. They saw her last weekend in 2 warm-up matches, and she blew them off the court a couple of times with her enormous power. And they'll have a plan tonight. I don't know what that plan will be, but Shannon Windsor will have a plan to try and shut her down. Here's
a girl that's got a fair amount of power, Carly Hines, to start jump serving for the Volleyroos. Oh, and it shakes into the roof. Really solid start. We've seen the Volleyroos, though, do this in both their matches. They've started really confidently. In their very first game, they kind of couldn't go with the opposition, but last night against Cuba, they absolutely kept going. So good start, the Volleyroos. Massive serve, Hines, but it's handled by Croatia, and the captain is picked up. Rebecca Reeve into the block. So nice blocking structure there from the Croatian apple. Croatia are yet to get a serve in this match. This is going to be their 3rd attempt at serving. See there, Rebecca Reeve, her first swing of the game, just dropping the elbow a little bit and getting caught up in the block. So Croatia still looking to get a ball into play. This is Jurisic. Gets it done. Oh, and there's a lady who we need to fight. Sophie Godfrey just missing with a quick attack, but that's okay. Just getting a radar. We can get that connection between the setter and the middle blocker. It's going to make Croatia work harder for their points. Croatia trail 3-4.
Good serve. That's soft. It was a good serve. It dropped really, really quickly, and the Australians just weren't in a position to be able to deal with it. Gave it an overpass back, and that was just easy money for the Croatians to put that away to lock this up at 4-all. And the serve reception is a problem. It can be a problem for the Australians. They've got to get on top of that early.
Much better pass, gives an opportunity for the lefty. Oh, she's just missed, unfortunately, for the Aussies. So the Aussie girls all just trying to find their radar a little bit. Jen Sadler on that occasion, her first swing, but no touch on the block. So the Aussie girls leaking 3 points in a row. They need a good side out, settle the nerves a little bit. They came out strong. Now they've got to respond to a serve that hits the net and drops in. Well, Croatia, a leaping joy. And in volleyball, folks, any serve that hits the net, completely legal. You've got to make a play at that ball. That is a really tough ball to serve receive. So 6-4.
We didn't see a lot of this girl, Jurisic, the first 2 nights, the first 2 days. She's having a wonderful introduction to the tournament, isn't she? Hines, that's a great block, and that's the captain, I think, is it? They got up high and pulled that block off. She is, I mean, I do feel like we bang on about her a lot, but she has been really, really impressive. I know that she gets, you and I, well, you spotted it more than me, that she may have a weakness in her game in terms of her serve receive, but in terms of her on-court leadership, she is quite inspirational, isn't she?
Actually, Jumancic, the 11, getting the effective block on that one. So, Coach Shannon Windsor just... saw a great photo on social media overnight of Coach Shannon Windsor, and her kids were here to watch her coach the match. She's very, very proud to have taken up the helm of the Australian Women's Volleyroos, the Hello World Volleyroos. 7-4 Croatia on a very good run. Iva Jurisic serving again for Croatia. We need to find a way, says the Aussie camp, to get a side out. Goes back to Sadler. Better swing. But Fabrice, that's a name you're going to hear a lot of, folks, in this match. The 13. She's been the big attacking weapon for the Croatian team. Samantha Fabrice, either in the front row or the back row, she's going to see a lot of air time. Peels back nicely, approaches with a lot of venom. Good, smart, deep swing. So the first technical timeout, 8-4, Croatia leading after a good Aussie start. Croatia have found top gear quickly.
Yeah, they really have. The Australians came out full of a bit of the energy that was still hung over from last night, I think, and they showed a little bit of exuberance, but the Croatians just steady. This is what they've been doing. Slow, taking some time to address the players herself now. But the Croatians are a formidable unit.
They certainly are. So what Shea Sloan is asking them for, I'm sure, is just a really steady pass on top of her head. Need to get out of this rotation. This is one of these just awkward spots on court where the setter has got her back to her two hitters. They don't seem to be able to find a good release ball in this position. The pass is not going to help. It's going to have to be a back row to Hines. Big ask. Croatia to convert, and they convert again. So we're going to see a substitution straight away. Australian coach responding to that. Doesn't like the serve reception of Rebecca Reeve. So Jamie Lee Morrow makes her first foray on the court on the back of a run of points. Croatia put their foot down and have kept on going. 9-4.
Well, we didn't see much of Jamie Lee Morrow last night. Rebecca Reeve just had such a great night, but it just goes to show how quickly you can run hot and cold, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And again, Croatia handle the back row attack. And Sadler needed to do something. And she got it done. That's a really important block and a really good way for Jen to get herself into the match. A good confidence builder. So Sophie Godfrey for the Volleyroos to serve. But that lady, Fabrice, is absolutely world class. And you just have to keep an eye on her. She will pop up in the front court or the back court. It won't matter. And no nation has really got a handle on her yet in the World Grand Prix. She'll go back to serve now. She's in the back court, but it doesn't lessen her effectiveness.
Oh, that's too hot to handle.
Wow.
Way too hot. That is one of the best serves we've seen all weekend, Jonathan Fogarty. You would not want to be standing behind that.
This is going to look delightful. A snap of the wrist. The Aussie girls facing a real onslaught. Croatia starting really solid at 11-5. She's taken the pace off the ball. Nice pass from the Australian libero, Jamie Lee Morrow. There you go.
Well done. Yep, that is welcome to the game, Jamie Lee Morrow. Let's see what you've got. Here's a chance for her to stake her claim again for that. Obviously, her and Rebecca Reeve are going to jostle for that starting position. Here is the chance tonight for Jamie Lee Morrow to step in and say, right, I want this position back.
Absolutely. Nice up from Carly Hines. It's there for Morrow again. The tip is well read by Croatia. The back row attack from the captain is clinical. So better signs for the Volleyroos. They adjusted quickly, but Croatia have got options all over the court. The slide attack was handled. Middle blocker got back. The tip was read well, but the captain, no, it was Topic, I beg your pardon, the 6. This is the captain now with the serve. Nice pick up off her own spike. Morrow gets it done cross-court. Really nice. So 2 out of 3 for Jamie Lee Morrow being clean winners. We like that. And as a substitute, when you come on, you actually feel an extra bit of pressure. You've been not considered part of the initial game plan to start, but then you've got to come on and change the tone instantly for Jamie Lee Morrow. Really good job. And then a spiking error, but no, it's touched.
Yeah, just a little touch. Wasn't much on it, but enough there for the umpire just to say, yep, I saw that. That is a point for Croatia. Everything falling their way at the moment.
13-7 now. This is the middle blocker. For Croatia serving. Good serve receive. Got a bit of Beth Carey time now in front court for Australia. It's going to be a gutsy effort from Shea Sloan. Jamie Lee from the back row.
Wow.
Carey!
Wow. Well, Jamie Lee Morrow, hats off to her. I mean, that was a gutsy play by her. Just didn't want to give the Croatians too much of a free ball. It was obvious that it was not going to. She was going to struggle to put too much on it, but she set it up nicely, and then the Croatians just floating one back, and Beth Carey finishing off with a lovely little dump there on the other side of the net.
Great touches last night, Beth Carey. We were singing her praises very rapturously. Nice pick up by Shea Sloan. Good read on the block. Oh, wow. That was awful if you're a defensive player. But for Topic, the 33-year-old for Croatia, she has absolutely set the tone with that sharp angle. And the Australian blocker is going to have to be alert to that. 14-8. The setter in Gurbach serving for Croatia. Hines with a bit of work to do. It's tight. They cover well. That's even tighter. Well, Hines not in an ideal position. The first set was very hard to hit. Really close. The Aussie cover was great. Look at that pickup from Morrow again, was telling. Hines with no spike approach at all hits a clean winner. So the Aussies are earning everything that they get at the moment. Croatia are asking some tough questions. Shea Sloan serving, the captain of the Volleyroos.
Oh, it's a great get from the Innocentis, but couldn't do it again, couldn't follow it up. Just luck, I suppose, but just the Croatians, you can't give them too many free balls, can you? They're just going to punish you every single time. Look at that, a great save from Alice.
But the free ball ultimately was going to get punished. Croatia too good on a free ball. 9 times out of 10, they're going to make you pay. Sadler's picked up off the block. Here she comes, Fabrice. So 16-9, this is a very, very dominant start. We were unsure, Rossoli, how Croatia would come out.
Were we?
Start this match.
Were we really? I mean, I think we knew they were going to be formidable. I think we know that they're a very, very good side, and they've got a point to prove. They really honestly do feel like they don't belong in this division, that they should be, that they're not wasting their time, but they're a bit too classy. And look, to be honest, with what we've seen, Jonathan Fogarty so far this weekend, they are a class above. But the Australians, these are the sorts of matches that Australia need to step up.
Absolutely. Interesting, not unlike the earlier match, the 16-year-old from Croatia in Strunjak, who has been starting all of the matches for Croatia so far. As you said, Rossoli, not starting this one, that's gone to the number 5 in Iva Jurisic, and she's started serving really well. And her tough serving really put a big lead on the board that the Volleyroos have struggled to close. This is Topic, the 6, serving at 16-9. That is a hefty lead to start this match. It's going to go well long though, so they'll take that. The Volleyroos 10-16. Possibly our most powerful server, or their most powerful server for the Volleyroos, in Carly Hines, going back to her home baseline. Local girl, going to rip this serve for sure. Too big though. Just not getting over the top of it. Croatia. They do love to dance.
They do, yes.
Jump around and the joy is a word we've used, I think, in every call we've seen Croatia play. They bring a wonderful demeanour and a wonderful atmosphere to the court. This is that girl again, Jurisic. They need to get straight out of this position. This is where the trouble started before. Couldn't do it this time. The captain, Yurkov. 18-10. Clinical volleyball, clean, pure ball control. Croatians showing a lot of class in this first set. This is Jamie Lee Morrow. Good defense, Croatia to convert another. Not to be.
Good block.
Nice touch.
A really good combination there from the two Western Australian girls actually on the net there. Sophie Godfrey and Jen Sadler up there trying to close down these powerful Croatians. Powerful machines that they've got on this on opposite wings. But that would hopefully be a confidence boost as
Caitlin Bettany comes on
for Sophie Godfrey.
Absolutely. Born in Townsville. Big shout out to all the Far North Queensland crew watching.
Bettany seen as a serving specialist for Australia. And there's a goal. Well, Australia needs a couple of those just to maybe to play on the mind of the Croatians and take a little bit of confidence out of their game at the moment. Because at the moment they're feeling very, very confident.
A rare error.
Yeah, very much so.
12-18. Very rare error. The ball into the antenna is instantly called out. So underway again, the volley ruse. I'm going to say that ball's going to be called out. No touch on the block indicated. So a little bit of a roll for the Aussies. Caitlin Bettany, the 17-year-old, causing a little bit of pressure to go back on Croatia with some good serves. 13-18 now the score. But this time, Jumancic gets it done, so Bettany will come off. Sophie Godfrey returns, and another substitution. This time it's going to see Brcic, the 15, come on, and the setter for Croatia, Ana Grbac, will go off. So Croatia back in control, 19-13. This powerful athlete for Croatia.
Her serve, the one area of her game that was off last night was her serve. Oh, that is right on the money. Right on the money. There's no doubt at all that was in. I was going to say, Jonathan, last night her serve was off. She ballooned a lot over, well, not ballooned, she missiled a lot over the back line. That one there, right on the line.
Yeah, the Aussie girls asking for it to be called out. I think they knew they'd been aced. That time it has gone out, but the damage I think has been done. 14-20. Of course, folks, we play to 25 points. The first team that gets to 25 with a 2-point margin will win this first set. You win 3 sets, you win the match. Sophie Godfrey.
Jen Sadler.
Sophie Godfrey enjoying
watching that point from her Western Australian teammate.
Yeah, I was just about to say exactly that. But for Jen Sadler, the left-hander from Western Australia, catching the tape, but a little bit of luck, a little bit of fortune. Maybe that's what the Aussie girls need. 15-20. Jen Sadler again. The searching serve, but Croatia are going to go back row. Oh, Carly Hines working well to keep the ball flying, but it's going to be trouble on the outside, and it is that captain again, Yurkov, the 33-year-old, who leads with words and actions on court for Croatia. What a wonderful volleyballer she is. The block was pretty good. The response from the Aussie girls, Shea Sloan and Carly Hines, good, but the captain for Croatia back to the service line. Jamie Lee Morrow is going to get an opportunity. Denied. It's going to go back to Sadler. Well picked up by Sane, the libero. Here's a free ball. Someone's got to take it. Too strong, too tall. 22-15 now.
They just have options, don't they? The Croatians, if something's not quite working, then they're quite happy just to turn things around and bring someone else into the play. They know that no matter where they set that ball, they've got wonderful options. I mean, they've got the hitter of the tournament, probably Fabrice, and then they've got the captain, Yurkov. They've got...
and then they can bring on a world-class 16-year-old like Struniak.
Yeah.
We'll just get a 16-year-old off the bench and inject her in at 22-15. Timeout called. Shannon Windsor, the Aussie coach via Canada. All right, the crowd in great voice here. We hope you're enjoying the coverage. Wherever you might be watching, we're in Bendigo, Victoria, country Australia. The World Grand Prix of Volleyball Group 3, the final match of the round here in Australia. Croatia 22 leading the home nation, Australia 15. This is the Croatian captain asking plenty of questions with her serve. Carey has got the answers.
And that was a combination that worked well for Australia last night. The sliding set from Shea Sloan and Beth Carey running around the back and putting it away. They won a lot of valuable points from that last night. Don't be surprised, Jonathan, if we see that play used a lot more for the rest of this match. You can't
give it back to them that easily, can you? That's a pity. 23-16, the Croatian girls in control. It's going to be the number 3. Struniak, the 16-year-old, going back to serve. Bit of pressure on her. She maybe wastes an opportunity. All right, 17-23 now. Front court setter. The 15, but it's been called out. Gee, the Croatian ladies had a reasonable claim for a touch off the Aussies there. The replay might tell a little tale. They all sweat on the play. Does Sadler get a touch on that? It's hard to tell. I'm sure she would have let the referee know if she'd touched that ball. Beth Carey, 18-23. The Aussies still hanging in this first set. Croatia looking for a middle attack.
Oh, wow, what a great block. I think it was Carly Hines and Sophie Godfrey up there. I think Hines got most of it. Big block from Carly Hines. That'll get the home crowd fired up.
And we haven't seen Fabrice blocked a lot in this tournament. She won't enjoy that. Floating out of the back row, Hines and Sadler, I've got to say, a little bit each. Oh, sorry, Sophie Godfrey, I'll get it right.
Yeah, I'm having trouble with those two.
Yeah. Not very bright, but bright volleyball by the Australian Volleyroos, the Hello World Volleyroos. In fact, mostly Sophie Godfrey. So, scoreboard now 19-23. Pressure.
Much more respectable, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. We don't want respectable, though, what the Australian coach is saying for the Australian fans. They want to win this first set.
And just a very interesting result coming out of Tokyo with Canada beating China 3-2, which means that instead of getting the 3 points, they only get the 2 points, which I think means, Jonathan Fogarty, that if Australia lose to Poland, but lose to Poland or win against Poland 3-2, that we could still go through, I believe.
Fate is in our hands. We just need to beat Poland. It's a simple equation. Out she goes to the 6, Topic. Crushes it for 24-19. Croatia back in control of their own destiny in this first set. A small but hardy group of Croatian fans have supported this team all week, which has been great. And the 15, Bricic, has got a set point serve. Croatia, a brace of set points on the board. Here we go, set point number 1. Jamie Lee Morrow's serve receive. Hines will be blocked out.
By Fabrice, I think,
Croatia win the first set, 25-19.
Well, what an apt way for that set to finish, really. Fabrice has been dominant tonight with her power game, and now I think getting up and bringing off the final block of the set. Let's have a look at the replay here. I think it was all Samantha Fabrice. No, it wasn't. No, it was the new player who stepped in tonight to take over, Jurisic. She's really grabbed this opportunity with both hands and made a big impression in that opening set. But the Australians fought back, and it's good to see the Australians showing a bit of character. But the Croatians are a strong side, aren't they?
Well, they started strong, but let's not discount the Volleyroos. They have been asked questions against Cuba, and they came back hard last night, so they will not have to go back too far to remember what they did well last night against Cuba and try and replicate it in this match. Here are some early highlights. The blocking early from Croatia was very, very good, and then they got on this big serving roll. And for the Volleyroos, they couldn't get through the block. They found no way through. Jamie Lee Morrow came on and really added something in that first set. Haven't seen a lot of her this weekend, but when she came on, things started to happen. Jen Sadler got a good clean winner. That middle attack was too good from Jurisic. Beth Carey started to get involved. But in the end, there's the captain doing such a great job, Mia Yerkov. Carly Hines, sadly for her, the local girl, hitting the set point into the block and down. So we have one set already in the bag, says the Croatian coach. The Volleyroos fans, though, passionate, loyal and loud here in Bendigo. We hope wherever you are watching, you're enjoying the coverage. The steely-eyed determination of Shannon Windsor. Assistant coach Lauren Bertolacci there, of course, as well. So there's the statistics. 3 aces to 2. Plenty more attacks. One of the big problems for Australia when they were putting the ball back over, it wasn't really an attack. The errors, interestingly, Croatia made more errors, but they had more opportunities to make errors, I guess. And the blocks were pretty equal, but ultimately, many more attacks on the ball meant Croatia many more points on the board, 25-19. Go Volleyroos. The Beth Scary crew are in the house. I'll be looking for the middle blocker from South Australia to lift a little. Croatia look relaxed and happy at the moment. We are about to get underway with the second set in what's been a wonderful weekend of volleyball here in Bendigo. The World Grand Prix Group 3. We've hosted Colombia, Cuba, this team from Croatia, and of course Australia. The Aussie girls will pack their bags and they head to the airport. They're on the 5:30 a.m. bus tomorrow morning out of Bendigo. Yep. That's harsh. I'd hate to be on that bus tomorrow morning.
Not as harsh as the other 3 international teams who all are on the 2 a.m. bus, I believe, out of Bendigo.
To be there.
Yes. I wouldn't bother going to bed, probably. I think just...
No, I think the Croatian ladies will probably party until the wee small hours, just get on the bus.
I don't think they will, because they've got a big weekend of volleyball next weekend. Jonathan,
Yeah,
that might have been how you did things in your day, my friend. But sport is very much more professional these days.
Isn't it? If only the commentary was as well.
Oh.
Never mind, first point of the second set underway. Fabrice showing an all-round capability. It's not just the power game. It's her court craft and her vision that are excellent as well. Little drop shot there going, ladies. Follow me, I will get you there. Topic serving for Croatia. Oh, that ball's in play. The Aussie girls celebrated early, but it actually came off the foot of the Croatian player. The whole body is your palate in volleyball. Look at this boom off the sand shoe, off the size 9. Completely legit. Gerderbach, the setter, doing a nice job, but eventually Aussies won the point. Carly Hines Serving. Here's Topic from the back power.
Oh, has that picked the line, I think?
That was a mile, and I can't believe the girls from Croatia were exhorting the out call. It was in by a fair way.
It might have been Beth Carey got a big piece of that, did she, on the net? Let's have a look.
Let's have a little sneaky peek.
No, it was Hannah Martin, I think, stepped up. Hannah Martin into the play.
Absolutely, has joined the fray. Jamie Lee Morrow has stayed on. This is Jurisic, the 22-year-old. Scoreboard locked 2-all. Double contact, you don't see that very often. The ball in the hands came out really ugly.
The Croatian bench celebrating it. I don't know whether they feel that is an aspect of the play that's been overlooked this weekend, especially in games against Croatia, but they seem to celebrate as though about time was the message they seem to be giving. I don't know, I haven't noticed too much.
He is an expert at making his presence felt from the sideline. The coach of Croatia is an interesting and complex man.
It's party time at the moment for the Croatians. They're now celebrating each point with a little ring-a-ring-a-rosy down the middle of the court.
Well, this is what they do. They bring so much life and energy to the game. They're a joy to watch, and it looks like they're a joy to be part of. They, the unit out there is tight. They play for each other. They don't drop their heads. Hannah Martin.
Good result for Hannah Martin. She has a point to prove. She believes she should be in the starting lineup here, and she's been she was overlooked tonight. Now she's got a chance. She's out there, and she's going to really, really make this count.
Absolutely. Starting in the second set, I think in the place of Rebecca Reeve. Beth Carey from the service line. This imposing middle blocker for Australia. Nice touch by the Aussie block. Carly Hines out of the pike position, back row middle, dials it up. All credit to Sophie Godfrey, the middle blocker for the Volleyroos, getting a really telling first touch. Took all the heat out of the Croatian attack, gave the Aussies the opportunity to find the seam in the Croatian block. So that's better, good signs. Carey serves again, nice deep testing serve. Got her back, sets the go-to gal, Fabrice. Who better?
I think Hannah Martin might be on for Jen Sadler.
I think you're right. It's not often that you're right, but
no.
I think that might be one of those occasions.
Yes. Was anyone rolling on that in the production booth? Whoosh. Her serve is on song tonight, which is a worry for Australia, but that is a good recovery.
Oh, what a shame for the Volleyroos. They thought they'd finally got a block on the captain from Croatia, but it wasn't to be. It's going to be a substitution called. You're going to see Struniak, number 3, coming on, replacing Zumancic. Fabrice for Croatia. They lead 6-4 now, second set. Carly Hines' serve receive was good. Well read by the Croatian block. Oh, that is mind-blowing. Hannah Martin. Wow. She's
stepping up. Yeah, good on her. Good on her to come out here and to put her foot down and say, right, I want to be part of this team. This is an exciting team. This is a team of the future. Don't you count me out of my role in this.
Absolutely. So better signs for Australia. A better start to the second set, it should be said. But this lady is going to take some serious stopping. Fabrice has just been unbelievable all weekend. Volleyball, the slide set to Godfrey was well read.
Block by Topic. They've been very steady, haven't they? There's the two experienced Croatian players, the captain, Jurkov, and Topic, both 33 years old and just ultra reliable. And as a coach, I mean, you just love having those sorts of players at your disposal, don't you? Knowing that they're a cool, calculated hand on the wheel.
Yeah, absolutely. See Shea Sloan working hard there. Sophie Godfrey got a good look at it, but the Croatian block watched it all the way in and punished them. 8-5 in the second set. Hope you're enjoying the coverage.
The last spike for this video goes back on Sparky. Everybody follow Sparky, guys. First hands down. Follow Sparky.
The crowd here at Bendigo have been absolutely loyal. They've been passionate.
That's just a quick score update from Japan. Australia are leading Poland 7-5 in the first set. 7-5, which is a good strong start. But Poland, I noticed in the commentary, they started their reserve players for this match, so that's useful for Australia. Thank you very much, Poland.
Back to the match in hand, Australia v Croatia.
Whoa!
Well, Rebecca Reeves. Yeah, it was Rebecca Reeves. She's come out with one of those sneaky little three-quarter pace off the block plays that she's done so well. Let's see what she can offer the Volleyball combo from the service line. Ask some questions. It's going to be a big, hard-driven back row attack, though. Back to Carly Hines. Just too tough, both of those sets.
Tough
were
set
quick
her, yeah.
and tight.
Yep.
Not ideal, it has to be said, for Carly. Especially the second time round, you can see she just hasn't got a body in a position to really attack the ball. It's a push, and ultimately it's a push into the antenna, which is instantly called out. So, bit of an opportunity. The Croatian team opened the door, but then they slammed it shut 9-6. Good pass from the libero of Australia. Sophie Godfrey. The Croatians know her name anyway. They would have been scouting her. She's played a bit of club ball over in Europe. Bettany comes on. Caitlin Bettany comes on for Godfrey. We talked about Caitlin Bettany as a favoured serving option for the Volleyball. So she'll go back to the baseline, see if she can nurture a couple of points from there. The dump was well picked up by the Volleyball. Carly Hines was well picked up by Croatia. It'll go back to Hines. She'll pick up her own work. Confusion reigns. A free ball has to come. They're lining up and they're punishing.
And that all came from a lack of communication out there amongst the Australians, and the two players went for the same ball, and you can't really have that sort of situation happening, and that ended up turning over, as Jonathan called, a free ball to the Croatians, and you only need to offer them one and they'll take it every single time.
Yeah, that was interesting. Jurisic got caught out of position blocking the first time, but got the block, came back and hit the winner, so she worked really hard. Big hustle for the Aussies, but the serve is mishandled. 11-7.
And that's Gerbac again, the setter for Croatia. She served really well the first night. She served well again yesterday, and she's done it again now. It's just very, very difficult for all sides this weekend to read.
The Croatians looking nice and calm and happy. Coach Shannon Windsor is looking very tense. Very, very tense. 11-7.
I think the thing is for Australia and for Shannon Windsor is they don't mind losing points. They don't. Well, I'm sure they do, but they, as long as you put up a good fight, and they don't want to give up soft points. And serve receive is the problem. Gerbac is a very good server. She
You keep talking her up, Ross Solly. You keep pumping up her
yes.
tyres. I'm sure the Australians will love you for forcing that error.
So 8-11, the Australians are close enough in this set. They've just got to string together a couple of good points, and Shea Sloan is serving well today. That's
serving really
serving well.
Topic, the 6 for Croatia, pushing that ball too close. As soon as any ball hits those red and white antennas, they're instantly called out. The overpass, Wooshka straight in the antenna. That is a point to Australia. 9 points, serving 11. Shea Sloan goes straight back to her, as she should. Fabrice, though, you don't like seeing Fabrice being able to swing at a block that's got a gaping hole between the two athletes. That gap was absolutely begging to be exploited. You'll see the block from Australia doesn't form in time because the attack from Croatia has to keep the centre or the middle blocker interested, and then Topic returns the serve with interest.
The serve receive, there's got to be something that Coach Windsor has to really work on, because it's doing Australia out of a lot of points, unfortunately.
Hines hasn't really lit up yet like we know she can. Wow, double hit call. So that's interesting, because the Croatians were blowing up at some of the ball handling of Australia earlier, and then they got one of those calls their way. And the first referee just reminding them that it's the same set of rules across the paddock. So that was quite interesting, that a bit of a get square maybe from the referee, just to keep them honest. Boom. Yeah. Fabrice. Wow, this is some broken record commentary from yours truly. We have just been saying her name.
But I mean, she's
the 24-year-old.
Potentially the player of the weekend, isn't she? Just for the sheer dominance that she's had.
No question in my mind.
Talk about, you know, striking fear into the heart of opponents.
Great cover. It's going to be a free ball. What a free ball it was. Boom. I'll let you work out who that was, folks. Absolutely dominating this match too. 15-10 and 1 set to love.
And she's already, what are we now? She's already up to 12 points.
Individually.
12 points individually, and we're halfway through the second set.
So that's half a set.
Yep.
In a set and a half, well, yeah, nearly 2 sets of volleyball, half of it's been hers. That is a domination. She'll get it again, no doubt. And it will be the same results.
3 in a row, what do you do?
Well, and if you're the captain and the setter, Anna Gerdeback, that's just savvy. You have identified that there is a lady who is absolutely dominating. You just keep getting the ball back to her. She's gone a great lengths to set Gerdeback on that occasion.
And what do you do? What do you do as Shannon Windsor or as Shea Sloan out there on the court? What do you do?
Well, you do something that you've got to change your game, you've got to mix it up. Talking about their blocking technique, about their reaching out. She wants to see a well-formed block. Wants the blockers to find their position on the net, do their job. This is a match between Croatia and Australia. Croatia won the first set, 25-19, lead 16-10 in the second. The Hello World Volleyroos looking to get back in this match as substitutions all round. Clarick comes on for Topic for Croatia. Shea Sloan gets a spell. The captain of Australia gets a bit of a rest, and Sophie Payne will come on and set for the Volleyroos. So that's what you do. You make a substitution, you put a different setter on. So Sophie Payne is going to have...
First time we've seen her this weekend.
A bit of a baptism of fire, I suspect. You better put it on her head, girls, not to be the best you can do as an off-tempo ball to the middle of the back row. Wow. Beth Carey trying to ignite something for the Volleyball. There's her hometown girls. There's her Austral club members. Good double block. And that's exactly what Shannon Windsor wanted her blockers to do. Get your position on the net, reach in, do your job. And she got it. Beth Carey to serve. You need a couple in a row, I would think. Oh, the off-speed this time. They've become so gun-shy of this wonderful spiker, Fabrice, that they're back on their heels, and when she takes all the pace off the ball, they are found wanting. So substitution. Anna Gerderbach, the server comes off. Bricic comes on. She's there. And then other setting options.
And then just to add to the misery for the Australians is then they look up and they go, right, who's serving at us? Oh, yeah. Samantha Fabrice. Right.
Okay.
Is she will she pin her ears back? I think there's a fair chance that this
I reckon she's got a license to thrill.
At 1,000,000 miles an hour. Yep, and there you go.
So the alternate setter gets her hands on the ball. Better set the captain, that's wise. Back set from Payne is good. Very, very good. Hannah Martin connecting well. So it's not one-way traffic just yet. Croatia finding a spirited Volleyball defense and then a very capable Volleyball offense. Nice back row pickup and then the connection to seal the deal. Here's an opportunity. Oh, what a shame. The hard-driven back row attack from Fabrice hits the net. The Volleyball can't quite adjust to the ball, having no pace on it. You see the ball rifling into the net, just takes all the pace off the ball. The captain, Mia Yerkov, serving 18-12. Oh, not touched by the block, apparently, of Croatia, so 4 contacts called against Australia.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to see from here. We are fairly close to the action, but let's have a look at the replay. Yeah, I think it's a fair call.
I think that's a perfectly adequate call.
They just, when they flex their muscle, they're very, very strong. The Croatians, and you know, the Australians have been very, very gutsy and trying a lot of things, and their young players out there are trying to stand up and stare down this Serbian onslaught, Croatian onslaught, sorry. But at the moment, the Croatians just have all the answers. They've got too many weapons.
The House of Windsor is shaking at the moment. A bit of a spray from the Aussie coach. Trying to fire up the Hello World Volleyball here in the second set. Croatia leading 1 set to love and now 19-12. We saw them open this sort of gap up in the first. Australia closed it to some extent, but then couldn't get it done. Going to see the captain now get a spell. Going to see some athletes we haven't seen yet this weekend. Leah Svetnic, a 17-year-old, for her first foray out onto the court. So the bench getting a bit of a workout for Croatia. 19-12. Svetnic to serve for Croatia. And how's that come on for her first touch of the tournament and serves a bomb down the line. 20 points to 12. Substitution, Jamie Lee Morrow comes on. She's going to be asked to serve receive in a better fashion, unfortunately, than that one. So Svetnic again to serve. Did well the first time. What she got the second time round goes back to that same area. Morrow does well. The hustle from Croatia. Really good.
Carly Hines up the middle there. She's the most powerful player in the Volleyball, the Hello World Volleyball lineup. All she needs is for the ball to be set in some sort of an area where she can do some damage. That time it was. And the Croatians no answer for the big Hines spike.
Jamie Lee to serve for the Volleyball. They get a little bit out of shape, but the roll shot was well read. Oh my goodness, talk about well read. Clarick just absolutely monstering this block. I'm waiting, I'm there.
You know, we're calling players now, Jonathan, that for Croatia that we haven't called all weekend. And I mean, to have that depth that you can call on these sorts of players, bring them out, give them a taste for the first time and see them serve and block and jig the way they are.
Dominating. That's a better swing. Carly Hines, I can't help but think she's the lodestone to Australia's fortune here today. The hometown girl in her last game in front of the Bendigo faithful. Carly Hines has the power to excite and to lift the Volleyroos. A little bit more from her would be welcome, I'm sure. Good serve by Godfrey down the line. Here's the opportunity. Who does Payne go to? Goes to Carly Hines, and Carly responds.
And she's giving a little bit to the Croatians too.
Why
She just
not?
gives them a bit of a pump up and say, yeah, this is not all your show. This is our show as well. And we've got a few big guns on this side of the net. You got to do that, don't you? You got to get in the face a little bit. Look at that. Look at the big rev up that she's getting. Oh. But then you take the pressure off, and the Croatians do their little ringer Rosie thing out the middle, which if I was on the other side of the net, I'd probably get annoyed about very, very quickly.
That is not a great serve, suffice to say. Never mind moving forward for the Aussies, but the Croatia Brucic will serve the 15, the left-hander. Jamie Lee Morrow's serve reception is dealt with. And then the power from Carla Clarick.
It's making her presence felt. Having only been on the court for a little while.
Wow. 23-15. She is not here to carry the bags, this lady.
She is not. And here's another player we haven't seen a lot of. Brucic serving.
Nice pick up the libero, Sane for Croatia. Transition opportunity for the Volleyroos. Hard driven ball off the block. That number 22 again. Lighting up the stadium here at Bendigo. Carly Hines has been Australia's most effective attacking weapon all weekend. Is another new name. Rankovic will come on, and finally Australia will see the back of Fabrice for at least a little while. She gets a well-earned break.
Yeah, she heads inward. Let me just check and I'll tell you how she's travelling at the moment.
Please do. 16-23.
She sits down with 15 points already for the match.
Wow. And a steady play.
I laugh because
it's so good.
It is so good, and the Croatians have the depth to be able to just bring in a new player and immediately have an impact like that.
Crush it. So it is set point, and plenty of them to Croatia. 24-16, Croatia leading 1-0 and 8 set points in the second. We're underway. Service has gone out. Hardly an issue. There is still 7 set points on the board. For coach Miroslav Aksentijevic, he does not look perturbed by that error of the Croatian serve. It is set point number 2 for Croatia. It's going to need something special for the Volleyroos. Of course, Carly Hines is going to rip one, but it is deep and long. So Croatia continue the second set as they did the first, 25-17. And Croatia now lead this match 2-0 in a clinical display here in Bendigo.
Yeah, they're impressive. I mean, they're very, very impressive, the Croatians. We were impressed with them last night, and again, you've got to be impressed with the way they're playing today. I mean, they could take their foot off the pedal and just cruise home here, but they just come out, they want to get this over and done with. Go back to the hotel, have a meal, have a shower, get to bed nice and early because they've got an early start tomorrow morning, and then head off to the next games. But, you know, the Australians, they still have time to pull something out here and to show what they're made of. Here's the highlights, Jonathan.
Well, they're going to be vastly more featuring the Croatian play. Australia just couldn't go with the Croatians at those key moments. Australia worked really hard for their points. Don't get me wrong. A lot of the points that they had to get, they had to really earn them. Very few simple errors from Croatia. But anytime the free ball or the off-speed went back to the Croatian court, it just came back with so much power, so many options. And then bench players like the 14, bench players like her could come on and then just find some dominance of their own. So there it is in 24 minutes, even quicker than the first set, which was 25-19, the second 25-17. So Croatia undefeated so far this weekend. They've only dropped one set so far in 3 matches. And for the Volleyroos, they are going to have to do something very special to try and get back into this match. Let's give them a run, says Rhiannon Watt. Wise words from a wise athlete. Let's see what Windsor does with the squad for the start of the third set. Will there be changes? Look at the stats. 4 aces to 1 is telling, 14 attacks to 11, 8 errors from Australia is a reflection of the pressure that they were placed under. Jamie Lee Morrow will start, Rhiannon Watt will start the third set. Beth Carey is out there. Shay Sloan returns to the fray. So for the Volleyroos faithful here in Bendigo, have they got one more set of volleyball, or can their Volleyroos extend the joy that has been the World Grand Prix here in Bendigo for a little bit longer? Croatians are all business though, so I know what they want to happen.
Well, it'll be interesting. Let's see what the Croatians, the starting lineup they bring out. Do they bring Samantha Fabrice back out, or are they going to give some of these younger players a bit more court time? I mean, I think the Australians, they want to play Croatia at full strength. They want to have the challenge of staring down someone like Samantha Fabrice, but it looks like the Croatians are going to persist with some of their lesser-known players that haven't had a lot of time on the court so far. Though Fabrice is out there, or she's out there now, so...
For the Australians, the changes are Rhiannon Watt is going to start the third set. Jamie Lee Morrow has stayed on. Hannah Martin is there. Just getting her head around the changes to the Croatian squad for this. Fabrice is back on, and that's not a good look if you are the opposition. The 15 has retained her spot, as has the 3, so Strunjak will stay on, and this girl, Bernarda Brcic, getting some valuable court time in the World Grand Prix. So this is it, folks, possibly for the Volleyroos. Is this their last roll of the dice? Is this their last set? Croatia absolutely dominating. So they need to do something special, the Volleyroos, to get back in this match. The third set underway. Carly Hines picked up in the backcourt. And then dealt back well by the 14. I beg your pardon, it was. Indeed, it was the 14. So Croatia playing their alternate setter. And Clarick, the 14, is on court for them. So Anna Gerderbach, their normal setter, is getting some rest time. Hines picked up. Oh, and then crushed away again. Clarick has done a really good job in her short amount of time on court so far this game.
Hasn't she? She's really come on and grabbed this opportunity. And the Australians, I don't know how much homework they would have done on this girl, but at the moment they're finding it hard to read her, that's for sure.
Shay Sloan links up. And links up well. Rhiannon Watt, her first foray into the match. The smiling assassin is back on a nice slide play. Let's see if Rhiannon can lift the Australian outfit. She won't lack for joy and enthusiasm, that's for sure. Shay Sloan, the captain, back to the service line with a serve right on top of the head. And then the service that you get is there for all to see, and Fabrice
just smacking that home. Oh, look at that, coming in from the outside.
And just absolutely unchallenged. Claric serving 3-1, Croatia leading this match 2 sets to love. 3-1 in the third. Martin, this time
Fabrice with the block.
blocking.
Yeah.
MVP of the tournament already. I am voting, and I'm voting now. Do I get a vote?
Well, you do, for the Fox Sports player of the tournament.
Well, there she is.
But look at that, all around the court.
Number 13 for Croatia is absolutely head and shoulders above anyone else in the 4 squads that have come out this weekend. Great up from Alistair Inocentis, the libero, but they were on a treadmill going backwards on that point. And they are running rings around themselves now, the Croatian team. They've had enough with running rings around the opposition.
They're just having a good time, aren't they? They're really enjoying this. They're trying a few new combinations out. Shannon Windsor calling a timeout now, as she should do at 5-1. You can't let this keep going on. You've got to try and stop the momentum a little bit.
This could get ugly very quickly for the Volleyroos if they don't put their foot down and stop this. An alternate playing roster for Croatia, same results.
They should not be able to hit that power spot, yeah? Stand like that properly so we can set up our defense.
Windsor unhappy with the relative ease that the hard cross-court spike from athletes like Fabrice. Got to close that hard cross-court down.
Just an update from Japan. Poland has taken the first set against Australia, 25-21. So not the result that the Volleyroos, the Hello World Volleyroos, needed in the first set. But if they can still come back and win 3-1, then I think that would be enough.
I actually think winning in 5 is also okay.
Possibly, yeah,
given that Canada went to 5 sets. Back here, the Ringer Rosie continues. Croatia, I think, are now doing some traditional dance of joy.
And I think that's good. And I think that would be a nice thing to bring into the sport, is that if each team could do a traditional dance. For the Australians, obviously, that would be the worm. So maybe next time they win a point, we could see, or the dead ant, which was very big. I know Jonathan Fogarty.
Yeah, big part of my repertoire.
When you're a younger man.
Hannah Martin has picked up this time the off speed. Well read. Rhiannon Watt responds. Carly Hines.
This goes wide.
Unfortunately, misses with the opportunity. So the Croatian train has already left the station in many ways. How are they going to stop this runaway? Everything the Volleyroos throw at Croatia, they have got an answer for at this stage. It is 7 points to 1. Hannah Martin misses everything with the spike, and again, the ponytails are dancing in the breeze.
Well, this is an important moment now for the Australian team, Jonathan. They did so much hard work last night to build their confidence up and show how well they can play. They really just do not want to let this get away and become too one-sided. I mean, already at 8-1, this is looking tough, very, very tough. But this is where good sides can dig deep and show a bit of character. And, you know, the Croatians are enjoying themselves over there. They're dancing around. They're playing some really, really good volleyball. Australia just need to come out, smack a couple of good spikes home, maybe a couple of big blocks. I mean, there's nothing for a little team like a huge block. They've got to find something.
We know that we can do it. We know how we can play. We know the energy we can bring, and we know what we need to do. All right, so everyone switch on right now.
Jay Sloan using her school teacher voice.
It is not over, but be patient and let's get on to it. Come on.
Yes, the old, like I told you before, if you're going to keep playing like that, then there will be consequences. You are going to report to the principal's office.
Absolutely.
And come back and tell me what the principal says. The principal at the moment is Samantha Fabrice and the Croatian team. And they are running a very, very tough school here. It is the school of hard knocks, is it not? And the Australians are really copping it. And Shay Sloan actually coming off now to have a break, a change of direction for the Australians.
Sophie Payne coming on to set. Again, we saw that in the previous set, the other setting option for the Volleyroos, Sophie Payne from the University of Blues, of course. All right, 8-1 Croatia are absolutely rampant in this match, and even more so in this set. The Volleyroos need a circuit breaker of some form. What a pickup by Sane. That's better.
That's what they
needed.
needed. That's what they needed.
That was the circuit breaker that they wanted. Now the next order of business is some service pressure. It is Rhiannon Watt gets the kill. Carly Hines from the service line. And they just didn't need that. That is the exact opposite of what they needed.
You sit there and you wait and wait and wait to finally get the ball back. You get it back and then you turn it straight over. Disappointing, I mean, but Carly Hines, she has to throw everything at it. I mean, it is one of the weapons that Australia has, the Carly Hines serve, and unfortunately there are times when it doesn't come off.
Strunjak to serve for Croatia. They lead 9-2 now. Rhiannon getting it done somehow. It wasn't her hardest driven option.
It was a really good set though, wasn't it? It was flat, it was hard, and put Watt in the position just to be able to tip it over. Good couple of points for Watt.
Yeah, she's added some life and some enthusiasm and some spark. Let's see what she can add from the baseline. The Volleyroos trailing by 6-3-9. This is Rhiannon Watt. And that is a really solid attack by Domancic, the number 11 middle blocker. 10-3 now. It is this Wonder Woman, Samantha Fabrice for Croatia. She's been unstoppable. Great serve reception from Jamie Lee Morrow.
Yeah, that is great. I mean, that makes a difference. You have somebody who's going to belt that serve over at 1,000,000 miles an hour. If you can get control of it, and that is it's one of the toughest jobs in world volleyball, isn't it? The serve receive.
Absolutely. She puts this right where it needs to be. The set from Payne was absolute mint jelly, and Carey feasted on it. 4-10, the Volleyroos need to go now, though. Beth Carey, a little voodoo on that one, a little bit of off speed, and the Beth Carey crew, their cheering game on point today. Beth Carey with a slide attack. It's a roll shot in the end. Doesn't matter how you get them. And then a tough serve. Opportunity. Not taken. What a shame for the Volleyroos.
The idea was right. The idea was definitely right. Let's mix it up. A couple of the fast moves have been catching the Croatians out over the last couple of points, so why wouldn't you try it again? But just unfortunately in the execution, it wasn't quite there. Good block though from, I think, who was it?
Domancic.
Domancic, yep.
This is Spetnik serving a tough ball. Again, Croatia really waiting for that play from Beth Carey. It was telegraphed. And this is again that one or two occasions where the Australian structure gets into these difficult spots and they can't seem to break out of it. 12-5. Svetnic again. Pass is pretty good. It's going to be an outside attack. Jamie Lee Morrow gets it done. So there you go. She's been good. She's added plenty since she's been added to the roster. 6-12.
She is, and you know, this is Australian players fighting for their place in the Australian team and in the starting lineup. They're about to head off to Colombia tomorrow morning, and you know, when the team lines up on Friday, everyone wants to be in that starting lineup when you get overseas. It's an opportunity now to prove that you do belong there. And Shannon Wins is trying a few things, trying out work out what her best combination is.
Unfortunately for Carly Hines, the block just zoning in on her there. Again, it's that number 11, Domancic, who's got a couple of telling blocks in the last few minutes. Did a nice job, zoned back in well. Jurisic serving for Croatia.
Carey's spike just gets the fingers, just a little touch, I think, on the way through. Enough certainly to give the ball back to the Australians.
All right, it's going to be Beth Carey, middle blocker for Australia. That deliberate exhalation before she serves. Oh, and a ball handling call on the setting hands of Payne. That's a real pity for the Australian setup. They'd worked hard to try and bring that ball back into play. In the end, a soft point for Croatia. The hands just double hitting the ball. This is the earlier play.
That's
again,
impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, again, they've blocked Hines really well in this match. They would have seen how destructive Carly Hines was last night against Cuba, where she had a wonderful match. But this afternoon here in Bendigo, Struniak, the three, really zoning in on Carly Hines, getting good hands. 15-7 now, Croatia. Oh, and again, one-on-one this time. Emma Struniak, the 16-year-old, putting on a blocking clinic. That is some hard yards if you're an Australian volleyball fan, but the Croatian fans are jubilant. This is going to look great from the Croatian point of view. Watch Struniak, wait, go. Gotcha one-on-one. 16 years of age, but so poised.
It's like she's been given one job tonight, and that is shut down Carly Hines whenever you get the opportunity. And that's a couple in a row now. Fantastic for her confidence, and well, for the Australians, they've got to start thinking, God, blimey, how do we get past this? 16-7, it's again blowing out a little bit, but it's just all about now, about regaining some composure and a bit of confidence, and that's what's important now for the Australians.
Of course, this is only the 4th time these two nations have actually met in an international match. There were some scrimmage matches, I know, last week. Australia still looking for their first victory in a match over Croatia, and today's scoreboard indicates that they're going to struggle to get it done today. It's 16-7 and 2 sets to love down. Croatia digging deep into their bench now.
Yep, all sorts of players coming out now.
Rankovic, a 17-year-old, coming on. So this is absolutely a clear the bench situation for Miroslav Aksentijevic for Croatia. He's giving everyone a run. Getting some court time for his entire squad. Scrambled ball back into play for the Volleyroos. Nice pickup, Jamie Lee. No chance Carly Hine gets a swing on that. Someone wants to play at it. Payne puts it over, but it's another free ball. You'll pay the price if you keep giving free balls to Croatia.
And
straight out on a court.
Welcome to the game. Bruna Anna Rankovic there comes in, finishes that point off. Too many free balls there for the Croatians. The Australians just not really at any stage in that point as Carly Hines comes off now for a spell. Caitlin Beckney, I think, has gone on.
Just not working for Hines today, which is a great shame.
Well, I think the Croatians obviously had it in mind they're going to shut her down. Shut her down, and they've done that.
Bricic to serve for Croatia. Bettany does a reasonably good job, but the response from Croatia is good too. Oh, there it is.
There you go.
All right. 8-17 now. The Volleyroos of Australia in front of their rampant and rabid home fans in Bendigo. Urging these girls on. Wanting to see more volleyball, wanting to see the Volleyroos lift. It's Payne serving. Oh, he gets a cheap point. Such a rare commodity.
Doesn't matter how they come, does it? And that is a little bit about what you need sometimes in volleyball just to get things right. And to Libero there saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's my ball. Ooh, and there, okay, let's wait until we, yeah. maybe Alice Giannacentis didn't really need to play at that. That should have been left. I think we had a couple of cases there of the liberos being interfered with and other players jumping in when maybe... Good hustle, though, from the Croatians, aren't they? They're not... And a good move by the Croatian coach to give these young players a bit of time on the court, because they've got more to play for than if some of the more experienced players who have proven themselves.
Australia can't quite get their attack together. And a net touch, unfortunately, on Hannah Martin, I believe, will stop that rally in its tracks. What a great shame. It was a spirited rally from both teams. You'll see the outside hitter for Australia in the 8 jersey touching the net, so the scoreboard now 19-9 and 2 sets to love to Croatia, and they are absolutely in control of this match. Shannon wins her last roll of the dice.
As if we can start to execute a game plan. I want us to go back there. I want us to serve hard. I want us to block cross on both players. Okay? I want us to have hands over the net. Fast and hard. I want us to see the block. I want us to hit around the block, tip over the block, find an angle, work through this, okay? If we can get momentum and throw a few points our way, you're an experience. They may come down, but we've got to go back to the game plan. We cannot play today.
Just Windsor imploring her team there to go back to what the game plan was, to go back to doing what the Australians do best. Because at the moment they are a little bit all over the shop, aren't they? They're just really, really struggling to keep their game plan and stick with it. And much of that is thanks to the Croatians and the way that they're playing. Samantha Fabrice, the game high score at the moment with 17 points, and she spent a lot of time on the pine in this match.
Absolutely. All right, it's a good serve reception. The quick attack not there for Rhiannon Watt, though. Oh, but the blocking hands are, but Croatia, that'll be called out. Eventually, Reed gets her day in the sun. 10-19. Really spirited middle blocking from Rhiannon. She finally gets to celebrate eventually. Caitlin Bettany. For the Hello World Volleyroos. Deep breath. Zones in. Deep serve. Oh, and Croatia can do no wrong.
Yep.
Three-quarter pace, deep roll. Svetnik somehow finds the court. The block not really committed. You're either up or you're down, but that is the way it's gone for Croatia. They've earned their luck today. Morrow with a good swing. She has not lowered her colours today, Jamie Lee Morrow. Well, here we go, another substitution. Russell Croucher comes on for Rhiannon Watt. So this will be a serving substitution. Ree's been pretty good in this set. Jessica Russell Croucher.
Russell Croucher's first ever time, I think, playing in international for Australia, I believe.
There you go.
Well, you've got to get the first one out of the way somewhere.
There you go. History will show she got out there. These are what you learn from. These are the opportunities and the moments. You either win or you get experience. And today, Australia are getting some rich experience. They trailed 21-11. Croatia cannot put a foot wrong if they try. There you go, that's better. Ball hard driven off the block.
We need another 15 of those or 12 of those just to get a bit of confidence back.
Hannah Martin serving. Oh, that's heartbreaking. Little soft little rolls off the touch of the block that fall on your side, untouchable. And Croatia are marching on to A 3-set-to-love lead. 22-12 now. This is the 21. Beth Carey can't get a handle. Vetnic for Croatia will go back 23-12. The Volleyball are being taught a World Grand Prix lesson, I'm afraid, here on their home court. Croatia have been the best team all weekend, and they have continued to be untouchable today. And the errors for Australia, unfortunately, are killing any hopes they have of a comeback. And at 24-12, this squad from Croatia, well coached by Miroslav Aksentijevic, have got 12 match points. This is for the win. Morrow blocked, but gets a chance to go again. Croatia. Beth Carey blocked. Morrow has a swing. But it is over. The valiant but ultimately vanquished Hello World Volleyball have been well beaten by an impressive and incredible Croatia. 25-19, 25-17, 25-12. They were spirited, they were dignified, but ultimately outclassed. And Croatia have shown the volleyball world that their time in Group 3, Rossoli, may be short this year.
Well, I think so. I think that they really have been the impressive team this weekend. A tough learning curve there for the Australians. They were so excited after their performance last night. They believed that they'd learned a lot and that they showed they were up to this class. But the Croatians, are just a cut above. And, well, I don't know what went wrong with their year last year, but obviously it never went very well for them. They've turned it around in the season, the off-season during the Olympic qualifying campaign. They're not going to the Olympics, but they've very much got their vision on 2020. And the way they're playing at the moment, gee, they've got a good side, haven't they? They've got some good young players there that are going to be around for a long, long time. And Jonathan Fogarty, they're only going to get better, that Croatian team.
Aren't they? But look, some good news stories in there for the Hello World Volleyball. They'll take a lot out of the match against Cuba last night, where they almost took it to a 5th set. And they'll get on the plane tomorrow and they'll regroup for their trip to Colombia. You're seeing some highlights now on the screen of what was an absolutely rampant blocking and spiking performance by this wonderful Croatian outfit. All credit, all power to that team for being absolutely the dominant team. They got to Australia in plenty of time. They took their travel seriously, they took their acclimatisation seriously, and they reaped the rewards. The blocking, even their alternate players that came on that we hadn't seen all weekend, came on and made an instant impact. And it gave the opportunity for the coach to rest their big players, Gerbac, their setter, and of course, the player of the tournament for mine, the number 13, Samantha Fabrice, was absolutely mind-blowing in the way she has attacked the ball this weekend. And look at the joy, look at the scenes of jubilation. Croatia, you have warmed our hearts, and we say farewell to you with all of our admiration. Their selfie game, not great. Their volleyball game, outstanding.
Its selfie game looks very, very, very poor. And you'd think they'd know better in this day and age. But look at them. They are a team, as Jonathan said, that they came to Australia early. They wanted to get acclimatised. They've played entertaining volleyball. They've played really, really strong volleyball. Let's have a listen. Can we hear Shea Sloan here?
Especially last night, it was absolutely incredible, and that's why we all play. It's why we do it, and it's really built the fire out there for us for the next 4 years. And we want to keep coming back and keep giving you guys what we have to offer.
So there are the stats of that last set. 25-12, I'm afraid, is a beatdown at this level. One ace apiece, more attacks for Australia, but ultimately the error line and the block line are the two things that killed the Volleyroos. They were forced into so many errors by this gutsy Croatian team, and the blocking was absolutely mind-blowing, 6 blocks to 1. So Croatia, all the spoils to the victor. They get absolutely everything they deserve this weekend, and no doubt the points table will reflect their dominance. 3 wins from 3 games will will be an absolutely outstanding return on effort. And there is the table right now. 9 points for Croatia. Cuba will leave Australia as the second best team for the weekend. Colombia will be scratching their heads. And for the Volleyball of Australia, they will get on the plane and need to dust themselves off because the hometown advantage is now gone, Ross Solly.
Well,
and they're going to have to learn to play away from home.
It has, but what I will say about the teams that they will play in Colombia is obviously Colombia have fallen after the initial game on Friday night. Colombia have come back to the pack a little bit. Kazakhstan, I saw them play in Japan. They weren't very impressive at all. And Mexico, I think, are also a team that Australia probably feel confident that they could run with. So they've got to build towards that to start thinking about next weekend, Jonathan.
All right, well, that is the end of a wonderful weekend of Women's World Grand Prix Volleyball here in Bendigo in Australia. On behalf of my co-commentator Ross Solly, I've been Jonathan Fogarty. It's been an absolute privilege and a pleasure to bring you the Australian women's volley roos and the rest of the world. But until next time, it is goodbye for now.